Hi, and welcome back to our final session of our small group series, Who is Jesus? Through this series, we've taken a look at a few of the events of Jesus' life, and we've examined those events to get a fuller picture image of who Jesus is. Jesus revealed himself not only through the things that he said and the things that he taught, but also through the things that he did. And as followers of Jesus, we want to have the clearest picture of Jesus that we can have. In this event that you just finished reading about in John chapter 9, verses 1 through 7, we find the disciples in Jerusalem with Jesus. Now, they have just been to the temple. And the temple is this magnificent structure. And in the minds of the disciples, this pointed to the glory and magnificence of God. And as they're walking along, they bump into this man who's been born blind. And this raises a question in their mind. Who sinned? Was it this man? Or was it his parents? See, we might think that's a little silly question. Because how can a man sin or a person sin before he's even born? But there was a thought in the Jewish literature of the time that it was possible for babies to sin before they were born. And they would cite the case of Jacob and Esau as evidence for this. So who sinned? Because obviously his blindness was the result of some sin. And Jesus basically tells them that they have this all wrong. It wasn't because of a specific sin that caused this man's blindness. But through his blindness, God's glory would be revealed. God's glory could be seen. And Jesus says, I am the light of the world. He has the man come, he makes some mud by spitting on the ground and then putting it on his eyes. And now here, the man has a choice. He has a decision to make. Because Jesus tells him to go to the pool of Siloam and wash away the dirt, wash away the mud. And if he does that, then he will be able to see. Now put yourself in the position of this man. You've just heard Jesus and his disciples debating about you. You've been the object of their discussion. And then he puts mud, dirt on your eyes? Like, this is one of the craziest things that you've probably been involved in. Why in the world would this man trust Jesus? What would make him trust him? Perhaps he's heard some stories about Jesus. Perhaps he's heard Jesus teach in the temple. I don't know. But he trusted, and he went, and he washed, and he was able to see again. For you and I to experience the full transformation that Jesus has for us requires us to trust him completely. To go and to wash, to do what he asks us to do. So who is Jesus? Well, Jesus is the light of the world who points to God. Jesus is the light of the world who points to God. And if we trust in him, if we trust in Jesus, if we obey him, if we follow him, what's going to happen is we're going to be able to see God. So I want you to think about this question. How has trusting Jesus transformed your life? How has trusting Jesus transformed your life? I hope you have a great time discussing over these next few minutes. I hope that you're able to encourage one another. I hope that you're able to pray for one another. And as we wrap up this small group time, I hope that you will continue to find ways to encourage one another, and that you will commit to continue to pray for each other on a regular basis. Thanks for being part of our small groups. God bless.